Well, filling these things up just became a thing of the past. Oh man, I tell you, I'll get more into that in a bit, but if you're conservative, gonna get tough. I've been telling you that I think it's very important that you start finding ways to isolate yourself from society. The more that you are around people, the more you're going to run into issues with people. So I told you the other day about a guy who was trying to get money out of the bank and the bank wouldn't give him any cash. He wanted to buy this old man toy. Well, the guy who was wanting to sell the old man toy to the guy who wanted to go and get the money from the bank, well, now that guy's mad. And so now there's a dispute and he's not going to sell the thing. I think it's better if you can just remove yourself from society as much as possible. Now, I recognize that there are still things that I do. I don't have to, but there's things that I do that connects me with society, such as getting gas, driving the truck, going to the store. You know, we don't have to do any of that, but we go to the store and we still buy meat because it's nice to have something other than chicken and eggs, but we don't have to. We could eat just chicken and eggs. We try not to need to buy anything anymore. We've got pretty much everything we need to live here and be happy. I know a lot of people seem to think that you got to go out and have fun. You got to go out and do things, and spend money to have fun. But we made a one-time purchase. We bought the property, we bought the house and the things that we needed to go with the house, and now we're happy here. We don't go out much. We can find lots of neat things to do here that keep us very entertained. But when you start connecting to the grid and to people, you start running into problems. I hear this a lot in the prepper groups, that you got to have friends in case something goes wrong. You can rely on your friends. And I keep saying that people are going to turn on you if you have a group of people that you rely on. First of all, you got to establish a hierarchy. So somebody's got to be in charge, the president. People are going to get mad at the president. And you're going to have more things than they have, and it's going to get into a society where there's conflict, just like we're in now. This is what's so strange to me, is people tell me you got to have a group of people to rely on. We have a group of people that we rely on now that we can't stand. They just tore this place apart. So I guess it's better just to start over and do it all over again the same exact way. You know, there was a pretty famous guy who said a sign of insanity is you keep doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. So I'm going to do something different. I'm going to rely on myself. And I've done that, I would say, let's say 80%, where I just rely on myself. I can heat the house, make my own electricity, get my own water, and I don't need anything from the outside. I can feed myself with the chickens. We grow sunflower seeds, so they have protein. They can eat the weeds around the place for the rest of their diet. We don't have goats and sheep and cows and all that stuff, pigs, because we want to be experts in one thing. We want to be able to do that right. So I don't have to rely on people. If I get a cow, then I gotta go to the market to get a cow and raise the cow, and then you got to go get a bull to breed the cow, and you're relying on everybody to help you. You got to get hay. I mean, obviously we don't have enough property for hay. Same thing with a pig. People say, oh, you can go dumpster diving to feed the pig. Okay, well that means I still got to go out to dumpster dive. We're in a society now where going out is limited. We should have learned our lessons during the pandemic, and instead of whining and crying that, oh, they've got us locked down, when are they ever going to let us go? Carolyn and I were trying to figure out how we could stay here. We got here the month that we went on lockdown. Now, we weren't even close to being ready to be self-sustaining then. We were getting the camper off the truck. We had solar panels, but they weren't hooked up. We didn't have a lot of batteries. We had a small, one of those, not apartment size, but dorm room, freezer, refrigerator sets full of meat. And that's all we had. And we lived here for 30 days without having to leave. And I thought that was great, considering we just started. We didn't even have a house yet. But now we could stay here indefinitely. I actually think I wouldn't have to work. I work on YouTube. I don't think I'd have to work if we decided to just cut out society completely, which we can do. We can get water off the solar panels, so we don't need a generator, right? That's the only reason we use a generator anymore, is just so we can get water out of it. It just makes life easier. That's all it is. It's me being lazy. If I took the time, got rid of the refrigerator, because the refrigerator uses most of our electric, and the only reason we use the refrigerator is because we go to the store and we buy meat to put in the freezer. But if we just canned all our meat, got rid of the fridge, we could get rid of the generator, we wouldn't have to use the well, then we could use solar panels for the well. And we've done it. It's not like this is an experiment or, oh, I hope it'll work or anything. We've done it. We can do it. We can raise the chickens off just the things we have around here. We know we can do it. We've done it. We've got enough firewood to last us 15 years. And we got the woods that we have here on the property that would last us another 30 years. Now, this is all free firewood. We didn't cut this down from our woods. We got it from people's houses. If somebody was cutting down a tree in the front yard in the springtime, they'd put it on Facebook Marketplace free, so we'd go get it. So that's how we got all this. That way we didn't have to cut down our trees in the woods. But like I said, we probably only need another 5 years, so 15 trees, that'd be about it. And we could make it the rest of our lives here. I make these videos and I tell people that they need to become more self-sustaining, and you got to get rid of the concept of cash. People say, okay, well, get gold and silver, gold and silver. I say get firewood. Well, I can't pay your rent with firewood. That's what I'm saying. You're relying on somebody. And somebody's going to get mad at you because you can't pay and they're going to kick you out. So why are you relying on that? You're watching an off-grid channel saying, well, I live in an apartment. Okay, at some point, if the economy continues the way it's going, the way life is going in society right now, you're not going to be able to survive in an apartment. It's not feasible to think you can do it. You need to do what you can now to get out of it. If you have a house that you have a mortgage on, eventually you're going to have to default on that mortgage and they're going to take the house away from you. You don't have anything then. So stop relying on cash to pay your mortgage. Sell the house, get yourself a piece of property, cheap like I did, with the equity that you have in your house. Get yourself a tiny house and start becoming self-reliant. Look, gas prices, we just found out, are going to go up. They went up over the summer and we all freaked out, and now they're back down. It's like, okay, celebrate, and we're all out running around having a great time again, and now they're going to go back up. The president has asked Saudi Arabia to lower the prices until after the election. They said no. So the prices are going to go up, and they're going to go up higher than they did over the summer. Well, if you're a conservative and you like conserving money and your resources that you have, then you're not going to be able to go out with your vehicle. Carolyn and I do not drive that truck very often. Once a month we go into town and go grocery shopping. We replace our propane. Like I said, we don't need any of that. We can cook all our food over here on her little setup, and she does it all the time. So she has these old tire rims, and she's made a little rocket stove. She has her little oven over here. She puts in sticks underneath the grill. She has her oven, has a thermometer on it, has all her kindling split up here, and she does it with the wood that is we consider junk for the wood stove. All this stuff is just junk wood. It's too wet for us to run into the house, too old and rotten, so she uses this for cooking, and it gives us that good smoke flavor. So when they tell us that gas prices are going to be $10 or $7 a gallon, not just in California but everywhere, you and I will have been prepared for it to happen. And you're going to have to think about this long term. If gas prices go up that high, it's going to crush our economy. It's going to lead to a depression. And I don't think people really understand what that means. They keep talking about how they're prepping and they're ready and they're prepared. But nobody I ever hear is thinking long term. The depression lasts 10 years. How is a stockpile of beans and rice going to keep you alive for 10 years? If you look at the history, you look at the people in the depression, the people that thrived were the people that was able to can and raise their own food, raise their own livestock. Those were the ones that thrived. The ones that suffered were the ones who did not know how to do that. They lived in the cities, apartments, and they had to go to Hooverville. Hooverville was these tent cities in city parks. I mean, it's already been tried. We've already seen it. If you're telling me you need cash to pay rent, then you're already on the wrong side of the curve. You got to be over here. there is still time. You can still do this, but you got to do it now. You can't believe that this is going to recover. I put a poll out the other day and I said, do you think Republicans are going to save the country? And I was actually surprised how many people said yes. Republicans have been in office before and they didn't save it before. So if you think that after the midterms that everything's going to turn around, it's not. They're not going to pass a law that says open up pipelines. They'll have these Senate hearings and they'll point their fingers at the people who they're mad at, but they'll never do anything to change it. We watch senators all the time grill big tech, and big tech continues to censor conservative speech. So they never change anything. They never write any laws because big tech pays them their campaign money. Why would they hurt them? But they got to make it look good for the voters. So they'll wave their fingers at some environmentalist, whoever's putting the hurt on oil companies or whatever. But nothing will change because they want to be in office. They're not here for us. They're there for themselves. They get big money pretending like they care about you. I know it's hard to believe that a person in today's society can actually stay on a piece of property without going anywhere and saying they are not concerned about gas prices. But I'm not concerned about gas prices. I'm not concerned about anything going on out in the society because I got everything I need. And it only took a couple of years to get in this position. You have to start thinking about money differently. This is money. Chickens is money. Food is money. That's money. That's something that we're going to be able to barter with in the near future. And so you need to be prepared. So stop thinking about cash. Stop thinking about gold. If you came to me and said, hey, can I buy some wood off you, firewood? I got a coin of gold here. No. I'll take some food. You got any welding skills? You got any carpentry skills? You got any farming skills? I'll take those, but that gold isn't going to do me any good. So if you click this up next box, it talks about how conservatives can't buy groceries. So if I can inspire you to start living your dream now. Thanks for watching.